What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play Ocarina of Time 3D. In the last episode, we did some stuff in the Fire Temple. In this episode, we're gonna do more stuff in the Fire Temple. Hooray for repetitiveness! Anyways, let's talk to Navi real quick. You can see down from here. Isn't that the room where we saw Darunia? Ah, indeed it is, actually. And this is indeed the pillar that we need to knock down to get to the boss room. However, we still need to get the item from this temple to do so. Before we do that, though, let's go and get the compass. This is really easy to collect. Just avoid these two boulders and this really easy fire maze. And once you get over to this door, well, the compass is pretty much in the chest right in front of you. Very easy to collect. It's kind of annoying that it's this late into the dungeon because I believe there are a total of 3 required chests left. So honestly, not really that useful. I wish they would give us the compass earlier in these dungeons. It would make it more useful in my opinion, but whatever. Now that we got it, let's move on. Oh, hi Boulder. How nice of you to show up right in front of my face. Get out of here, man. Alright, so let's make our way over across to the opposite side of this room. And again, we got a little bit of a fire maze. They're really not that mazy, to be completely honest with you. I mean, they give you enough time to sort of react and move out of the way should you actually get close to one of them. But we want to make our way over to this locked door right here and use our second to last small key. The last small key in this dungeon is actually in this room next to this Goron right here. We can't do anything about this trapped Goron right now, so again, we'll have to leave and come back a little bit later for him. What we're going to attempt to do right now is actually make our way towards the item of this temple. Again, we have a little bit of a fire maze to go through. This one's actually a little bit more complex. There is a little bit of a switch and time element involved. So after you activate this switch, it will actually deactivate the fire at the end of this room. And pretty much it's just a straight shot there. You do have a very limited amount of time, so as soon as you hit the switch, just book it and go as fast as you can. If you mess up and hit one of those fires, you're pretty much screwed because they just don't give you enough time. Now this door right here is actually fake, so if you go to open it, you'll notice that it goes all sorts of crazy and tries to kill you. So let's just drop a bomb like that Goron said and blow it up. Get out of here, you fake door. And there was a real door behind it, which leads to a mini-boss of sorts. So this is a flare dancer. Now, if you remember correctly, we went up with a Goron a while ago, and he told us that if we ever encounter an enemy like this, we should use a sample of the Goron special crop to defeat it. However, that's not really the best way to do it. The best way to do it is use a hookshot on the core, pull it out, and then take a stab at it with your big Goron sword or your Master Sword. I would recommend the big Goron sword because, again, it does double damage to the Master Sword, so it takes 2 hits to send him back in the fire instead of 4. This guy only takes like 3 fire phases, and then he is done, so it's kind of easy. Each time he goes in the fire, he changes color. I think that's supposed to like represent him getting hotter as he goes back into the fire, but I don't think green fire actually exists. I could be wrong on that. After the 3rd hit, watch out, he will actually explode. It's pretty easy to dodge and get out of the way in time, but after you defeat him, of course the doors will unlock, but what you want to do is actually jump on this block right in the center here, and it will take you up to the next level of this temple. And now we're going to be making our way into a room with a puzzle that we've already solved before in this dungeon. I know, how lazy could they be? Already reusing a puzzle in the same dungeon? But we got another diamond switch in here, so since the puzzle is exactly the same as before, all we got to do is go above the diamond switch and then drop a bomb on it like so. That will activate the switch, which will extinguish the fire, blocking our path, and allow us to move on to the next room. And the next room actually contains the item for this temple, so I'm really excited to finally be able to pick that up. This next item is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. I do like it a lot. I still like the bow and arrow more, but this one's probably a close 3rd or something maybe. Anyways, the item is all the way over there, and the chest that it's in is blocked by fire, so we need to activate this switch and then run along this very thin edge, which you can easily fall down that hole in. So placing favor warriors win this room, not a bad idea. If you fall down or screw up, you can instantly warp back here. I'm not going to bother though, and I'm just going to go for it. If you line yourself up properly at the beginning, you should be able to do it just fine. Oh, and of course, as soon as I say that, I mess up one of the easiest jumps in Zelda history. Well, that is just fantastic. And I don't have enough time now, so I gotta wait for this time and reset. Thankfully, it doesn't take too long anyways, but if you line yourself up correctly, which I believe I am lined up perfectly right now, you should be able to get this no problem. It was a lot harder on the original N64 version of the game, just because the control stick is not nearly as precise as the 3DS circle pad is. Like, it is crazy how much, like, better the circle pad is from the original control stick. Anyways, doing that will grant us the Megaton Hammer. We can use buttons to smash and break junk. It's so heavy you need to use 2 hands to swing it. So it's kind of like the big Goron sword in that regard. And I gotta say, I really do like the Megaton Hammer a lot. It's not my favorite item in Zelda, but it is one of the coolest. And they do use it in some interesting ways that we'll find out shortly. That's another thing that I gotta give props to Ocarina of Time for. Like, they use the items really, really well. I mean, a lot of the time they use them in the temple that you get them in, but they do use them outside the temple and in other temples as well. So I do like that a lot, that they use them throughout the entire game after you get them. So one of the cool things that our Megaton Hammer can do, let's equip it real quick, is actually bash these blocks in. So if we just smash it down real quick, we'll fall through to a completely different area. It can also smash these statues out of the way, which will be used a little bit later on. So yeah, a whole bunch of new, like, mechanics have just opened up to us now. It's really, really cool. Let me just get rid of all the keys in this room real quick, because they're going to be kind of annoying while I try to solve this puzzle. So get out of here, you fool! No one likes you. Alright, so take your Megaton Hammer, smash this block in. That'll create a staircase for you. But before you go down said staircase, grab one of these boxes. At the bottom, you'll notice that there is a blue switch. We haven't seen a blue switch in quite a while, since, like, what? Lord Jabu Jabu's belly? And if you remember, we need a box back then to wait on the switch, and the same applies to here. So let's just drop that and move to the next room. Now, what we're trying to do is actually make our way back to the room with the pillar in it that we need to smash down to get access to the boss room. And that's where this block actually takes us. So from right here, you could jump on the pillar, smash it down, and go to the boss room. But we don't have the boss key yet. So what you want to do is smash this switch right here. Now, this is no ordinary switch. This is actually a rusted switch. So if you stepped on it, nothing would have happened. You have to smash it with your Megaton Hammer. This will take us back to the room with that Goron that we saw earlier that we couldn't really do anything about. You'll notice the time block across the way. So let's, of course, play the Song of Time, which I forgot. There we go, alright. Oh man, I really need to memorize these better. And of course, that moves the block, allowing us access to the other side. And you'll notice there's another rusted switch over there. So let's just go bang them with our hammer. Oh, now you're going to interrupt me and tell me about this. I wanted you to do before. I gave you an opportunity to. Now you're just being redundant, Navi. You're just trying to piss me off now, aren't you? Alright, so let's just go talk to this Goron. You released me. Am I free to go? Yes, you are. I'll teach you a secret of saving me. The door is hidden behind the statue in the entrance of this temple. Ah, well, thank you very much. But the Goron's special crop won't work on it. Do you have anything stronger? Well, in fact, we do. We just got a giant freaking hammer. So we're going to use that. But first, let's get our very last small key. Now, we're actually going to use this small key all the way back at the beginning of the dungeon on that door that Goron just told us about. And we basically need to make our way back there anyway. So the fastest way to do that would be to just stand on top of the pillar and then give it a good old whack with the Megaton Hammer. And fall all the way down. Thankfully, we do not take any fall damage from that fall. We just land nice and softly on this solid stone block. It would be kind of lame if we took fall damage from that, honestly, though, because it's required to beat the temple. Alright, so let's go back out to the main entrance of this dungeon. You'll notice that there's actually a statue off to the left over here. And if we just sort of bash it out of the way using the hammer, look. There's a locked door behind it, and we have one more small key. What could it mean? I have no idea. Let's go through it. And what's on the other side? Well, a bunch of freaking enemies, of course, and this is pretty much a gauntlet room for lack of a better term. We just have to kill all these enemies who actually make any more progress. Now, it's kind of annoying, but they don't use this a lot in Ocarina of Time, honestly, so that's kind of cool. It is interesting to see that they use it a lot more in other 3D Zelda games, which goes back to my other point of seeing what they took and left from Ocarina of Time in the future installments in the franchise. And, like, I really wish they just wouldn't have done gauntlet rooms, honestly. I don't really like them. They just take too long to go through, and there's really no point. Like, Wind Waker did it all right with the Savage Labyrinth, but even so, that was optional, so you didn't have to do that if you didn't want to. It was more of a challenge than anything. These rooms are just sort of required, and they just take up too much time. We haven't seen that glitch in a while either, so that was kind of funny. Alright, so let's just move on to the next room, and... oh no. We got another like in here. And oh crap, put away the sword, Link. Link, put away the sword. There you go. Let's just guard against these tiles. And you'll notice there's actually another Skulltula at the end of this room. That's the last Skulltula in this particular dungeon. So the only thing standing in our way is this stupid Lake. But now that he is gone, we are free to go and collect the 20 rupees and this Skulltula. And there we go. So the next room is actually going to be another Flare Dancer mini-boss. I don't really know that you could call these mini-bosses with how easy they are and the fact that there's more than one of them in this specific temple, so maybe them combined are the mini-boss? I don't know. Same tactic as before though, just use a hookshot in the big Goron sword and then take him out as fast as you can. Although it helps if you can actually hit him, for crying out loud. Oh my goodness. Sucker moves a little bit fast, doesn't he? Alright, get down here. He's gonna whack you again. I hate the fact that he's invincible for a few seconds after you like pull him out of his little flame dancing shadow body thing. I don't even know how to describe that. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Alright, let's just get rid of him once and for all now. And explode on yourself. There you go. And the chest that appears is going to be a small chest that will contain... Let's see if I remember correctly. I believe it's a bomb restock, which is weird, but I guess it makes sense since you would kind of normally use bombs to defeat him if you didn't know about the hookshot Goron sword tactic. But yeah, it's just some bombs, even though we don't really need them. And I want to go through this door. It's important not to get turned around in this room because, check it out, there's a trapped Goron again, another rusted switch. But this Goron is next to a very, very fancy chest, which of course will always contain the boss key for the temple. So there we go. Now we can make our way over to Volvagia, but let's talk to this Goron real quick. Are you releasing me? Yes, you're free to go. Oh, I see. Big Brother Daruni asked you to rescue me. I owe you big time. Yeah, you do. Please help, Big Brother. We're working on it, dude. We're working on it. So if we exit through the door directly in front of us, it will take us out to the entrance of the temple opposite of the side that we went in. So yeah, we just went in a giant circle, but at least we did get a Skulltula and the boss key from it. So it's not entirely bad. And we did pretty much complete everything in the fire temple now. And the only thing left to do is take on the dragon Volvagia and hopefully save Darunia. But we're going to do that in the next episode. So once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.